right, let's start. You can either start seated or you can start lying down, whichever you prefer. Get cozy, get comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. Right? No, seriously though, like if you decided to listen for the next however many minutes and you laid on your mat the entire time, that would be a practice. That would be a yoga practice, right? So it's really this practice of being aware of what's going on in your body and aware of what's going on in your mind, and being in the present moment. So feel free to do that as well. So if you're lying down, let the legs can either go out long, soles of the feet can come together and the knees can fall out wide, or if you want your knees bent and soles of the feet on the mat, that's fine too. And if you're seated, let your sit bones ground down into the mat. And wherever you are, if you're seated or if you're lying down, let your shoulders fall away from your ears. You unhinge your jaw. And soften the space between your eyes. And begin to pay attention to your inhale and your exhale. And sometimes when I get to my mat and whoever's teaching class says that, it's really the first time that I've paid attention to my breath throughout the day, right? So maybe that's the case for you. But the breath is our superpower, so give it some attention there. And as you breathe in and out, your mind may start to drift. It may start to replay the day. It may start to plan out the evening, right? Plan out the weekend. Right? But can you bring your mind here to this moment, right? Right, and begin to get curious about how you're showing up here, now. Either lying or seated on your mat. Right, are you all here? Are you all in? Or do you have one foot on the mat and one foot out the door? Like Brene Brown says that one of the most important and courageous and bravest things that we can do is simply to show up, right? Something like that. Right, so how do you show up here? And I often say that how you show up in one place is how you show up everywhere. Right, so notice that. Start to deepen your breath. Maybe you bring some movement into your fingers and your toes, and maybe this is the first time that you've had intentional, deliberate movement. Right, so showing up is being intentional in how we move through the day, interact with other people. So as you move through practice tonight, can you be intentional with your breath, with your movement, with your thoughts? Maybe one of those, maybe all of those. Take your arms on an inhale and reach them overhead. If you are seated, you're going to make your way down to your back. All right, so full body stretch, arms reach out over your head, legs stretch out long in front of you. All right, take a breath in, and on the exhale, you contract in, hug the knees into the chest, arms wrap around your shins. Good. Inhale, you lengthen out. Exhale, you contract in. Really pull the belly button into the spine, the forehead hugs into the knees. Take a breath in, lengthen out. Exhale, last time, hug everything in. And then you're gonna take your hands to your knees and just rock side to side, massage your low back, right? Waking up, maybe you've been still most of the day. You've been seated, right? Maybe not, right? But you haven't been here in this moment. So show up here. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, drop the knees over to the right side. Arms go out to a T, and then look over the left shoulder. Keep the shoulder blades on the mat, all right? Engage the abdominal muscles. Inhale, the knees come back to center, and then on the exhale, drop them over to the left side. Look out over the right shoulder. Right, notice here, so part of showing up is like tuning into the body, dropping in and taking an inventory, right? Take a breath in, you come back to center with the knees. What do I want to do here? Oh yes, I remember now. So you're going to take the soles of the feet and you're going to bring them to the mat, right? Knees are bent. Arms are going to go behind the head. Right, you're going to take a breath in. You're going to lift the shoulder blades up. Exhale, you're going to lower. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you lower. Press the low back into the mat. You're going to keep moving in that way. Inhale, you lift up. Exhale, you lower. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you lower. 4 more. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you lower. 3, you lift. Lower down on the exhale. 2, 1. You're going to keep the shoulder blades lifted, and then you're going to keep the left hand behind your head, and the right hand, you're going to reach towards the right heel. You're going to touch it, right? So you're pulsing using the side muscles, right? The obliques, right? So you're going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you got it. 3, 2, 1. You're going to come back to center. Right hand comes behind. Left hand comes down by your side. And you're going to reach towards the left heel for 8, 7, 6. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you touch that heel? 1. Come back to center. Shoulder blades are going to lift up, right? And you're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6. Keep going. Hug the belly button in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand to the right heel for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep going. You got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand comes behind the head. Left hand to left heel for 8, 7, 6. You're fine. How are you showing up? 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Hug the knees into the chest, drop your shins, your arms around your shins. You rock side to side for a moment, and then you're gonna rock front to back. You're gonna take your knees wide and sit back into child's pose. So hips go out over the heels, arms reach forward. Let your forehead rest on the mat. Right, and notice here what shows up here, right? So part of showing up, right, is being aware of the thoughts. So maybe you're like, oh, I didn't like that. Why did I come to class tonight, right? Don't worry, abs are done, maybe. Take a breath in and a breath out. You're gonna come up to hands and knees. So the shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Your hips are over your knees. And just move through a couple of cat-cow. So on an inhale, the heart lifts and the belly drops. Exhale, you press down through the hands around the spine. Stretch out the abs. Inhale, heart lifts, belly drops. Exhale, you round the spine. One more inhale, heart lifts, belly drops, look up. Exhale, you pull the belly button in, round the spine, press down through your hands, and then you come into a neutral spine. So the spine is long, the crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. Take a breath in, that right leg lifts in the air behind you. Hug everything into the center, and when you're ready, you're gonna lift the left hand out in front of you so that there is tension between the left fingers all the way out through the right foot. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, you hug the knee to the elbow. Inhale, you lengthen out. Exhale, you contract. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you contract. Inhale, you lengthen, and on the exhale, the left hand comes down, the right knee comes down to the mat. You're back in that neutral spine, right? And you check in here, you take a breath in, and that left foot lifts. And then when you're ready, that right hand comes forward. Right, so really flex the left foot, like you wanna put your footprint on my hand or on the back wall, and that right hand is reaching forward as if I were in front of you and you're trying to reach out and shake my hand. Beautiful. Take a breath in, you lengthen out, and on the exhale, you contract in, knee to elbow. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you contract. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you contract. Inhale, you lengthen out. On the exhale, right hand comes down, left knee comes down. You're gonna tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into downward facing dog. Right, so here you are in down dog. Right, the hands are shoulder width apart. Maybe there's a slight bend in your knee. Hips are reaching up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades are moving away from your ears. Beautiful. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to walk your hands back to your feet so you're at the back of the mat. You're going to roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Halfway lift with a breath in. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. And on the exhale, the right hand's going to come down by your side. Left hand stretches over to the right side of the room. Left shoulder onto the back so you don't cover up the heart. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, left hand comes and stretches over. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you fold forward. You're going to walk your hands out to plank. You're going to pause and plank. Right? So in plank, your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Heels are over the balls of your feet. The belly button's hugging into the spine. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to drop the heels to the right, and that left hand's going to lift up to the sky, and you're going to come into side plank. Exhale, the left hand comes down. The heels drop over to the left, and that right hand lifts on an inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. So you're back in plank. Feet are going to walk up to your hands. You're at the top of the mat. All right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Spine is long. Hands reach out behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. You're going to grab the right wrist with the left hand. Ground down into the feet and lean over to the left on an exhale. Inhale, you come back to center. You switch hands. And on the exhale, you lean over towards the right side of the room. Inhale, you separate the hands overhead. Exhale, you fold forward. You're going to walk back to plank. You're going to pause. Heels are going to drop over to the left, and that right hand lifts on an inhale, side plank. Exhale, right hand comes down. Heels drop over to the right, and the left hand lifts up. Roll the shoulder blade onto the back. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand comes down. You're in plank. You walk your hands back to your feet. You're at the back of the mat. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you ground down. You rise to standing. You interlace your hands. Palms face up towards the ceiling. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Inhale, you stretch up, and on the exhale, you lean over towards the right side of the room. Keep grounding down into the left foot. Don't let that left hip bone lift up. Inhale, you come back to center, and on the exhale, you lean over towards the left side of the room. Take a breath in. You come back to center, unclasp your hands. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You walk your hands back, or your feet back out to plank. You pause. You know where we're going, right? So heels drop over to the right. Left hand lifts on an inhale to side plank. Exhale, that left hand comes down. Right heels drop to the left. Right hand lifts on an inhale, side plank. You take a breath in. Feet come up to the hands. You're at the top of the mat. Right? Halfway lift on a breath in. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, the left hand comes forward. The right hand comes back. You twist towards the right side of the room, but the twist comes from the waist. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, right hand comes forward. Left hand comes back. Inhale, you come back up. Exhale, you fold. You walk your feet back out to plank. You pause in plank. Heels drop over to the left, and that right hand lifts up into side plank. Exhale, the right hand comes down, and the left hand lifts, and the heels drop to the right, side plank. Exhale, the left hand comes down. Here you are in plank. Lift the thigh bones up towards the ceiling. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Check in. How are you showing up? What did you say to yourself? Take a breath in. Exhale, you lower all the way down to the mat. You're going to take your fingertips off of the mat and over to the side. Press down into the fingertips. Broaden across the shoulders. Lift up the heart on an inhale. Exhale, you lower. You're going to do 2 more of those, please. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you lower. Last one. Inhale, you lift up. Hands come back by your side, right next to the rib cage. And then you're going to push back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in. You look forward and you walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath in. Exhale, you fold. You plant your hands. You step back to plank. Now you can move through those side planks right here if you want. Or you can lower down. Heart can lift to cobra. And exhale, you lower and you push back to downward facing dog. Those inchworms warm you up. So we're gonna do one more sun A. And take a breath in. Look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on a breath in. Exhale, you plant your hands, you step back to plank, you pause, you can move through the side plank, you can hang out in plank. You take a full breath in, exhale, you lower down, heart lifts to cobra on an inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a full breath in and a long breath out. Notice how you're showing up, right? How are you engaging with your body, with your mat, with your mind? Take a breath in, you lift the right leg in the air behind you. Exhale, you step it in between your hands and you're going to drop the back knee. So the knee is stacked over the ankle. You're going to come up to Anjaneyasana. Arms are going to reach up overhead. So when your arms are reaching up, you can move that right knee out over the right ankle. Take a breath in, and then that left hand's going to come forward. The right hand's going to come back. You're going to twist open. I'm going to take a breath in. That left hand's going to come down. You're going to come up to the ball of the left foot. So now you're in a twisted low lunge, right? So the right hand's lifting up. And here the right knee stacked over the right ankle. The spine is long. The crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. Take a breath in. Exhale, the right hand comes down. You're in plank. And you push back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, you step it in between the hands. You're going to drop that back knee. Inhale up to Anjaneyasana. Right. So your hands can be on the thigh. You're going to reach them up overhead on an inhale, and the right hand's going to come forward. The left hand's going to come back. You're going to twist. So the twist comes from the waist. Let the shoulders fall away from your ears. You take a breath in, and that right hand comes down. The left hand lifts up. You come up to a low lunge. So you come up to the balls of the right foot. Right. Take a breath in. Exhale, the left hand comes down. You're in plank. You take a full breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. That right leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it in between the hands. You drop the back knee. Inhale up to Anjaneyasana. Exhale, left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. You take a breath in, low lunge twist, so that left hand comes down to the mat. The right hand comes up. You can keep that left knee on the mat, or you can come up to the ball of the left foot. Keep opening up across the heart. Listen up, you're going to ground down into the left to the right foot. You're going to lift the upper body so you end up in this twisted crescent lunge. So the right knee stacked over the right ankle. You're on the ball of the left foot. Left hand forward, right hand back. Take a breath in. You come up to high crescent lunge. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, your hands come down to the mat and you move through vinyasa. So that moving through vinyasa is the lowering down, the lifting to cobra, or you skip that whole thing altogether and you just go back to downward facing dog. And we'll meet up there. You choose. You always have choices. You have choices how you show up. You have choices how much you engage. You have choices on the journey. Take a breath in. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it in between the hands. You drop that back knee. Inhale up to Anjaneyasana. Right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. Open the shoulders. On the exhale, that right hand comes down, low lunge twist. You can keep the right knee on the mat, or you can come up to the toes. Take a breath in. You're going to ground down into that right foot. You're going to lift the upper body up. That right knee can still be down on the mat. So keep bending into that left knee. It's gonna wanna cave into towards the right side. Can you push it out over the left pinky toe? Beautiful. Take a breath in. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. You move through vinyasa. We meet up in downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Oh, I have a cramp in my foot. Right leg lifts in the air behind you. Exhale, you put your foot in between your hands. Drop the back knee. Inhale up to Anjaneyasana. Left hand comes forward, right? You know where we're going. We're just building on the sequence. You can come up to the ball of the left foot. Take a breath in. Low lunge twist. Ground down into that right foot. Inhale, you come up to a twisted crescent lunge. Your next breath in, arms are going to reach up overhead. You're in high crescent lunge. So keep bending into that right knee. Let the shoulders fall away from your ears. All right, listen up. So you're going to straighten the right leg, lift the left, come into warrior three. Arms are reaching out in front of you. So if that's too much on your shoulders, arms can reach out behind you, airplane arms, or they can come to heart center. Right, so push down into the right foot, pull up through the right standing leg, flex the left foot, hug the belly button in, spine is long. Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, standing splits. So here in standing splits, the heart's reaching forward like you're looking over the edge of a diving board. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Left foot meets the right at the top of the mat. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold, bend the knees, sit the hips, lift the upper body up, chair. Hands come to heart center. Weights in the back side of the body. Heart's lifted. Knees are stacked over the ankles, toes are light. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Arms reach up overhead, legs straighten up. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath in. Exhale, you plant your hands, you step back to plank, you move through vinyasa. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it in between your hands. You drop that right knee. You come up to Anjaneyasana. Right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. You twist. Where can you find some ease here? Like really tune in, check in. How are you showing up? Right? You've been here, but can you stay present? Take a breath in. On the exhale, that right hand comes down, left hand lifts up. Low lunge twist, come up to the ball of the right foot. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You ground down into that left foot. Lift the upper body, twisted crescent lunge. Hip points are pointing towards the front of the room. Take a breath in. Arms reach up overhead. You're in high crescent lunge. Let the shoulders soften. Soften the face. Take a breath in. You're going to straighten the left leg, lift the right, warrior three. Arms can reach up in front of you to frame the ears, come into airplane. Choices. We have choices how we show up to the conversation, how we show up to class, how we show up to our job, how we show up in our relationships. We have choices in how we show up. And sometimes showing up is the hard thing. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, standing splits. Pull the belly button into the spine, flex through the right foot. Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Right foot comes up to meet the left at the top of the mat. Halfway lift on a breath in. Exhale, you fold, bend the knees, sit the hips, chair. And you breathe here and you check in, right? Each pose is an opportunity to notice how you're showing up and how you're engaging, right? It's an opportunity to build awareness, connection to breath, connection to body, Yep, you're still in chair. You're good. Take a breath in. Arms reach up overhead. Legs straighten. Exhale, you fold. Right leg is going to lift in the air behind you. Standing splits. So we're going to move in. No, not yet. Lucinda, get ahead of yourself. Take a breath in. Those right toes are going to come down to the back of the mat. Inhale up to high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Right foot steps up to meet the left. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Left leg lifts on an inhale, standing splits. Flex that lifted foot. Press down into the right foot. Take a breath in. On the exhale, the left toes touch down at the back of the mat. Inhale up to high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank and pause. Yep, you're in plank, you're breathing. Take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. Right leg lift. Now exhale, you step it in between the hands, low lunge. Right hand stays down, left up, low lunge twist. You take a breath in, arms reach up overhead, high crescent lunge. Take a breath in, you're going to straighten the right leg, come up to warrior three, lift the left. Pull the belly button in. You got it. Take a breath in. Left foot comes down to the mat on the exhale. You're going to spin the left foot down, bend the right knee, come into warrior two. So in warrior two, the right knee stacked over the right ankle. You're facing the left side of your room. The left foot is sealed against the mat. Arms are reaching out. You're looking out over the right fingertips. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You're going to flip that right palm, stretch back. Peaceful warrior. You're going to straighten the front leg, shift the hips towards the back of the room. And then you're going to lean the right fingertips forward as far as you can lean forward. And then you're going to come into triangle. That left hand's reaching up towards the sky. The right hand can be on your shin or the thigh, or can be down on the ground. Right? But there's this incredible lift in the side body. Beautiful. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to bring this right or the left hand down. You're going to step the left foot in and come into pyramid. So the feet are in two separate lanes. Both legs are straight. Hips are pointing towards the front of the room. You want both feet flat on the mat. So you may have to step that back foot in significantly. If you're like me and you have tight hamstrings. Beautiful. And you just breathe here, right? And you notice how you show up here, right? When things get challenging or uncomfortable in your body. Take a breath in. You're just going to step back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in, you lift that left leg in the air behind you. exhale, you step it in between your hands, low lunge. That right hand stays down, that left hand comes up, low lunge twist. Take a breath in. You're gonna lift the upper body, you're up into that twisted crescent lunge, right? We've been there before, that left knee's moving towards the front of the room. Take a breath in, arms reach up overhead. On an inhale, you're gonna straighten the left leg, lift the right, warrior three. Okay, maybe you do something different with your hands. Take a breath in, exhale, the right toes are gonna touch down at the back of the mat. You're gonna open up warrior two. Left knee stacked over left ankle. Left thigh bones parallel to the mat. Let the shoulders soften. Flip the front palm, stretch back, peaceful warrior. You're gonna straighten that front leg, shift the hips towards the back of the mat. Left fingertips reach forward and you're gonna come into triangle. So left hand comes down, right hand lifts up. Can you roll the right shoulder onto the back? And you breathe and you notice, right? So you know where we're going, but can you stay here in triangle? Can you show up all the way here in this pose? Take a breath in. That right hand's gonna come down to the mat. You're gonna step that right foot in and come into pyramid on this side. And you breathe in and you breathe out. And on the exhale, can you let go and soften a little bit more? Take a breath in and a breath out. You step back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. You're gonna look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you bend the knees, you set the hips back, chair. Right, so again, belly's pulling in. Knees are stacked over the ankles, the weight's in the back side of the body. Heart's lifted. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come to heart center. So you're in chair, your elbows are wide. You're gonna take a breath in, and on the exhale, the left elbow is gonna tap the outside of the right knee. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you twist. Inhale, you center. Exhale, you twist. Inhale, you come to center. Exhale, you twist. Center, twist, center, twist. 3 more. Center, twist. 2 more. Center, twist, center. 1 more. Last time, you got it. Into the center. Take a breath in here in chair. Exhale, you fold. Take your feet wide to the edges of the mat. Come into ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows. Let the head and neck release. Part of showing up requires us to let go of what doesn't serve us in the moment. Let go of the stories that get in the way, the thoughts of getting in the way, the things that keep us from fully engaging. Right. So here in this forward fold, as you breathe in and you exhale out, can you dump those things, let go of those things that do not serve you, that prevent you from showing up? Take a breath in and a breath out. Release the fingertips down to the mat. Left hand stays on the ground. Right hand lifts, bend into that left knee, open up. Exhale, the right hand comes down. Left hand lifts, bend into the right knee. Breathe in, and on the exhale, the left hand comes down. Toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold, bend the knees, sit the hips, chair. Hands come to heart center. You take a breath in, you lean forward over the thighs, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. We're staying there, right? So press the palms together, roll the right shoulder onto the back. Watch the left knee. It's going to want to sneak forward. Can you pull the left hip crease back? Right. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You're going to ground down into the right foot. You're going to lift the left foot. Right. So you're hovering it. Take a breath in. Exhale. The left toes touch down at the back of the mat. Keep the elbow connected with the right knee. Keep pressing the palms together. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You come up to high crescent lunge, and on the exhale, you open up warrior two, facing the left side of the room. So that right knee stacked, right thigh is parallel. Keep bending into the right knee. You're going to flip that front palm, stretch back, peaceful warrior. Straighten that right leg, shift the hips towards the back of the mat, come into triangle. And breathe here in triangle. You can stay in triangle or you can bend. You can look down at the right hand. You can bend into that right knee and come into half moon. So you lift the left foot. Left hand reaches up to the sky. So the right hand can stay on the mat or you can bring it up to a hover. Lean back, open up, flex the left foot. And you breathe. Right? Are you all in? Or are you halfway in thinking, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall? Fall, it's no big deal, right? Come back in. Take a breath in. Exhale, the left foot comes down to the mat. You're back in warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the mat. You're going to frame the right foot with your hands. Left foot steps up to meet the right. All right, we got that on another side. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold, bend the knees, sit the hips, chair. Hands come to heart center. You lean forward over the thighs, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Keep sitting the hips back. Pull the left hip crease back. Press into the hands. You're going to ground down into the left foot. Right foot's going to lift up to a hover. You take a breath in. Exhale, the right foot touches down at the back of the mat. Keep the right elbow connected to the left knee. Keep opening up. Take a breath in. You come up to high crescent lunge, and on the exhale, you open it up, warrior two. Soften the shoulders, unhinge your jaw. How are you showing up here? Are you here in this pose? Are you thinking about half moon? Flip the front palm, stretch back, peaceful warrior. Did you forget we had triangle? So shift the right hip towards the back of the mat. Left fingertips reach forward. Come into triangle. Right hand reaches up to the sky. Both legs are straight. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You can stay here in triangle, or you can look down at the right hand. straighten, or the left hand, straighten the left leg, lift the right, flex the right foot, open up across the chest. There's incredible amount of energy in that right hand. Lean back and breathe. Take another breath in and a breath out. Exhale, right toes come down to the back of the mat. You're in Warrior Two. Take a breath in. Cartwheel your hands to the mat. The hands frame the left foot. Right foot steps up to meet the left. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're going to ground down into the left foot. Right foot's going to lift as you come to standing. So the right knee is stacked over the right ankle. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to open the right knee up to the right side of the room. And then the right foot is going to come onto the left thigh or the left calf, come into tree. So arms, hands can be at heart center. They can be up overhead. You can take one hand, left hand forward, right hand back. You can get all kinds of funky things here. All right, but whatever you choose, show up. Go all in here. Take a breath in and a breath out. Right foot's going to meet the left on the mat. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath in. Exhale, you fold. Left leg lifts in the air. No, ground down into the right foot. Left foot lifts up in front of you. So the left knee stacked over the left ankle. And then open it up into tree. Okay, maybe you do something different here. And you breathe. And if you wobble, you come back in. It's not a big deal. Take a breath in and a breath out. Left foot comes down to the mat. Arms reach up overhead on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on a breath in. Exhale, you fold. You plant your hands. You step back to plank. You pause and plank. Oh, why not? Take a breath in. Drop the heels over to the right. Left hand lifts up, side plank. Exhale, left hand comes down. Heels drop to the left. Right hand lifts, side plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, that right hand comes down. You're back in plank. You take a full breath in. Exhale, you lower. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to walk your feet through your hands and come to seated. So we're going to go into double pigeon or fire log. So if you know that doesn't work for you, you can take either pigeon on your back, or if you want to do like traditional pigeon, that's fine. So you're going to take the right shin and you're going to, just like 5 minutes, maybe more like 10. So you're going to line the right shin parallel to the top of the mat. You're going to take the left leg, you're going to cross the right ankle, put it on top of the right knee, and the right knee on top of the left ankle. Right. So this may be enough sensation for you. You're going to bring your fingertips by your side, ground down into your sit bones, lengthen through the spine, or you can then start to walk your hands forward, right? So I like to bring the shins to my feet and really flex my feet. So this gives my, I press my forearm, not my shins to my feet, my forearms to my feet, so that it gives them a container, right? So that they stay stacked and flexed. And then you're gonna feel that in your hips. Right, and it's easy, so when we start to kind of slow down and stop moving, it's easy to disengage and kind of show up partially. Can you fully engage here in double pigeon or fire log? Right, and if you're leaning forward over the legs, can you keep the spine long and the heart reaching forward? Keep broadening across the chest. Take a breath in and a breath out. If you're leaning forward over your legs, walk yourself back up. And then you're going to come into this on the other side. So the left shin is parallel to the top of the mat. And then you're going to stack the right ankle over the left knee. Right knee over the left ankle. So you can kind of play around with it by how tight you make it or how far away from your body you take your legs. Right, and then you walk forward when you're ready. If you're ready. Right, and you notice that it may feel different on this side. Different side, different sensation. You breathe in, and you breathe out. And you just notice. Just notice. And then inhale, you're going to walk your hands back up. You're going to take your legs out long in front of you, maybe shake it out. And then you're going to bring the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. And then you're going to take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, right fingertips touch down at the back of the mat. Twist towards the right side of the room. Let that right shoulder fall away from the ear. Press the elbow into the knee. The spine is long. Then you come back to center, right leg goes out long, left knee comes to the outside of the right thigh, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, and twist to the left. Take a breath in, you come back to center. Both legs go out long. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold forward. Right? And maybe your hands land on your toes, or maybe they land on your shins. Right? But can you keep the spine long? The heart reaching forward. Inhale, arms are going to reach up overhead. And then you're going to roll down to your back. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Take the soles of the feet to the edges of the mat and then drop your knees over towards the right. You can take the right foot and place it on top of the left thigh. It's going to give you more sensation. Inhale, you come back to center, and on the exhale, you drop the knees over to the left. You take a breath in and a breath out. You come back to center on an inhale. Legs go straight up in the air. Hands can be by your side. Point the feet. You can flex the feet. Take a breath in and a breath out. On the exhale, the right foot comes down to the mat, and then the left. Legs go out long, hands by your side. Let the feet splay open. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Let the back side of your body sink into the mat. Right, this final pose, Shavasana, can you really show up here? Can you fully show up and let your body and mind rest? Take a full breath in. Sigh it out. Shavasana. If your mind starts to wander, can you bring it back? Start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes. And keeping your eyes closed, roll gently to your right side and pause. And when you're ready, you help yourself up to seated. Arms reach up overhead on an inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Pause, let the thumbs rest in your heart space. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the breath. Feel the moment. Ask yourself if you're showing up in this moment. Together, take a full breath in and a long breath out. The light and truth in me sees and honors that in each of you. Thank you for spending part of your evening with me. I cannot wait to see you guys in the studio. Together we say Namaste.